Good morning. We'll start a new lesson, Carbon and its Compounds, Session 1. And children, this is the last lesson in your science syllabus. So, what do we study in carbon and its compounds? Or what do we call as a carbon compounds? Compounds containing carbon are called as carbon compounds. So, what is a compound? Mixture of elements. So, any compound, if it consists of carbon atoms, then such compounds are called as carbon compounds. We will be dealing with such many of the carbon compounds in this chapter. Organic compounds, inorganic compounds, we just discuss about them. Lot many to discuss. Now, what is carbon? We know that carbon exists, that is atomic number is 6. Its electronic configuration is 2,4. How this 2,4 comes, you know that. Filling of the shell. So, valence electrons, in the last shell there are only 4 electrons. Now basically if you remember, while we dealt with all the elements, the atomic number, last shell, valency and valence electron, we discussed about sharing and losing, gaining and losing of electrons, right? But only thing when it comes to carbon, we discussed that carbon neither gains electron nor loses electron. For example, if I have to tell, so this is a carbon, so first shell 2 are there, then second shell 1, 2, 3, 4 are there. What will happen if carbon will give 4 electrons to form octet structure or carbon to receive 4 electrons to form octet structure? For every 1 electron to gain or lose, there is enormous amount of energy which is spending over here. Now, we know that formation of ionic bonds. How the formation of ionic bond will take place? There will be losing and gaining of electrons to form a octet structure. Sodium chloride, we understood how. Either one electron loses and another one gains it. So, in losing and gaining electron, there is lot of energy going in it. Assume that now carbon has to gain 4 electrons, so it should have tremendous energy to gain, or it has to lose its 4 electrons, it should shed tremendous energy, which is not possible by an atom. So carbon can share the electrons. Now what do you mean by sharing? Now sharing is something, if I have a pen, if I am sharing with my friend, that pen still belongs to me, my friend uses, even I can use it. But if I am giving it to somebody, I can't take it back, nor I can use this anymore, right? You are not losing here, but you are sharing. Carbon shares electron. It shares electron with other carbon atoms. That means the other atom and this atom are mutually sharing. They are not giving or they are not losing. The electrons remain with them only, but they share. So when we have to share electrons, we have to share to form an octet structure, right? That is only one thing we know. We will understand about this octet structure and another structure a bit later, okay? So, carbon, as we discussed, has valence electrons 4. Carbon is tetravalent. Why carbon is called as a tetravalent? Because carbon can form bond by sharing its electrons with the electron of other carbon atom or with other element to form the octet structure. That is why it is tetravalent. It has a tendency to share electron. Now, when it has a tendency to share electrons with one carbon atom to another carbon atom, they form a certain bond. Now, what is a bond? We discussed about ionic bond. How ionic bond is formed? Ionic bond is formed when you lose or gain electron. That we understood in the previous chapter. In metals and non-metals we understood, in acid, bases and salt we also understood. They all losing and sharing electrons will take place, right? Or sharing of, losing of ions will take place, or gaining of ions will take place, positive as well as negative. But when we talk about a covalent bond, in covalent bond, it's a chemical bond which is formed by sharing of electron. A covalent bond is a chemical bond formed by sharing of electron. That is with respect to this. Now compounds which have covalent bonds are called as covalent compounds. Examples, we will also study how do we form covalent compounds after we finish explaining this. So, when we form a covalent bond, there are single bond, double bond and triple bond. Now basically if I tell you what is single, double and triple, you will not understand anything. So, as I told, we will study how to form a covalent bond, right? There we will understand the meaning of single bond, double bond and triple bond very clearly. As I also told you that carbon or an atom has a tendency to share electrons. So when they are sharing electron, we always look for a octet structure. Apart from octet structure, there is another structure also exists. We will understand once we learn how to form a covalent bond. Let's understand a bit more theory about this, then about practically how to form a covalent bond we will understand. Next we'll move on to properties of covalent bond. So when we compare the properties with ionic bond respect, covalent bond are not as strong as ionic bond. They are the weaker bond. So they have smaller intermolecular force. You can break, that means smaller intermolecular force, you can break them very easily. Breaking them in a sense not by hand, generally talking about. They are weaker bonds than ionic bonds. Ionic bonds are stronger than covalent bonds. Why? Because in ionic bonds, or ionic bond is formed due to the losing and gaining of electrons, or ionic bonds are formed by ions. Covalent bonds are formed by sharing of electrons. That you have to always remember. If they ask a question, give reason why ionic bond is the strongest bond. Because they are formed by ions, losing and gaining of electrons. Covalent bonds are formed by sharing of electrons. That is why they are weaker bonds. Give reason question it could be. They have low boiling and melting point. They have poor conductor of electricity. These are properties of covalent bond. Again, very important, children. This chapter itself is very important. Next, versatile nature of carbon. Now, what do you mean by versatile? Some extra weight or something which is special about carbon. So, versatile nature of carbon because carbon can form number of compounds, infinite number of compounds. Now what are carbon compounds? Compounds containing carbon. It could be hydrogen. Now compounds I told. Carbon should be present in that. Along with carbon, hydrogen can be, oxygen can be, chlorine can be. So there are so many other atoms which are in combination with carbon. But that is what? It can form large number of compounds. That is one versatile, one extra something quality about the carbon. Then it forms also few extra properties such as catenation, tetravalency and allotropy. Let's understand these in brief now. Catenation. The property of carbon to link with the another carbon atom by the means of a covalent bond. Of course, when a carbon is linking with the another carbon atom, it can only link with a covalent bond only. How do they link? We will understand this in the covalent bond now. So carbon is linking with carbon. So carbon can link with how many such carbon? Several such carbon atoms can be linked with the carbon atoms. So carbon can link with other carbon atoms by means of covalent bond. That is single bond or double bond or a triple bond. Or that is known as catenation. Now, how can it link? What are the different ways of linking? We know that carbon can link with carbon atom by way of single, double or triple bond. Again in the form of straight chain, branch chain or a ring chain. That is, see this is an example for a straight chain. If I have to draw a branch, this is a branch chain. You will understand about branch, straight as we proceed in this chapter. So, one more how it can link. It can link like this. Is this a closed chain? This is the open chain. This also is an open chain. Is this a closed chain? Yes. That means catenation, the property of carbon to link with other carbon atoms by means of covalent bond to form single, double or triple bond, and also to form long chains, that is straight chains, branch chain and closed chain or ring structure is called as catenation. That's one more a versatile property of carbon we can tell. Tetravalency, we already know what is tetravalency. Carbon has 4 valence electrons. It has 4 electrons in its last shell. So, carbon can form a bond by sharing its electron with the electron of other carbon atom or with the other element known as tetravalency. Questions are asked on this, children. What is catenation? What is tetravalency nature of carbon? Right? Last is allotropy. Allotropy I am going to discuss in detail. What is allotropy? What are the different allotropic forms of carbon? So after that we will understand formation of a covalent bond. So the meaning of allotropy is defined as a property by which an element exists in more than one form that are physically different but chemically similar. So the allotropes of carbon, diamond, graphite and fullerene. So when we talk about here, their properties are different but they are chemically similar. Physically different, their arrangement is different here, right? That is what are called as allotropes of carbon. Now the arrangement of diamond is different from graphite and that is different from fullerene. So arrangement will tell us its proper properties. So let's talk about diamond. We all know that diamond is the hardest substance, one of the allotrope of carbon. So diamond is formed by, we do not study much structural arrangement here, just a brief we will just touch upon. It is made up of one carbon atom attached to 4 carbon atoms. For example, if I have one carbon atom, it is attached to 4 carbon atoms. Then each of this carbon atom is further attached to again further 4 carbon atoms, as you can see here. One carbon atom attached to 1, 2, 3, 4. Remaining this is attached to remaining 4. Now children, carbon has a capacity of how many electrons? 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Now all the 4 electrons are fully occupied because it is attached to 4 different carbon atoms here. All are completely occupied. The chain continues. So it is a network structure, one after the other. This continues further, this continues further, this continues further. Further this will have again 4C, this will have 4C, right? So it is a 3-dimensional structure which makes diamond very hard. Then it is a bad conductor of electricity. Now why it is a bad conductor of electricity? If you have seen that covalent bonds are poor conductor of electricity. Ionic bonds are a good conductors of electricity because ionic bonds can lose or gain electrons. They have one extra electron to either donate or they have a capacity to receive an electron. So tendency of an atom, when it can receive or it can donate electron, they will become good conductors of heat and good conductors of electricity. Here in diamond there is no extra electron left. All the 4 electrons are shared by 4 carbon atoms. Similarly the remaining 4. So there it becomes a poor conductor of electricity. We will move to the next, graphite. In graphite, one carbon is attached to 3 carbon atoms. So if one carbon is attached to 3 carbon atoms, one electron is left as it is. So graphite, one electron is left. So graphite has a tendency of donating or losing an electron, accepting or losing. So graphite can be a good conductor of electricity. Yes, graphite are used as electrodes, right, in electrolysis because they are good conductors of electricity. Example of graphite, your pencil lead. Now basically what is the structure of your pencil lead? You need not tell me it's a cylindrical in shape. See, basically they give a cylindrical shape to it. But I can still say that graphite is a two-dimensional shape with a layer structure. See, you write with a pencil. When you write with a pencil, the lead slowly, the layer by layer of the lead goes on. The layer of one layer goes another layer. That layer goes another layer until it breaks. I'm not talking about breaking of the lead, but if you have a pencil tip, you go on writing, the pencil tip becomes small. That means each layer is burning out. So it is a layer structure. No strong bonding. It is very soft. Soft in the sense, can you break the pencil lead with your hand? Yes, you can do that. It is very soft. Good conductor of electricity. Why? Because it has one extra electron left. Last is fullerene. So fullerene, usually we don't have much applications here. It is used in biomedical, it has its wide applications in biomedical field. It is made up of 60 carbon atoms. If you imagine a football, one small football which is made up of 60 carbon atoms, that looks like a fullerene. So here children, you should only know which are the allotropes of carbon and basically what are its carbon arrangement and about its conductor, good or bad conductor of electricity. I think that's more than enough for you to know. So these are allotropes of carbon. Now let us understand how to form a covalent bond, single, double and triple bond. So, formation of covalent bonds. Now, before we understand the covalent bond, let me just tell you, as I told you that, now carbon can share electron with another atom, right? That means carbon to carbon, now any other sharing of this electron when it takes place, it always will look for octet structure. That is, the last structure has to fill with 8, which is called as octet structure. If in case it is not able to fill with 8, there is another option also. If you remember, I had just told this once while in metals and non-metals, it can also have its configuration filled with 2 electrons only, that is the filled with 2 electrons, which is called as duplet structure. Octet structure, it always will go for octet structure for very few electrons and for very few atoms. For example, hydrogen, if I consider children, hydrogen, what is atomic number? 1. Now this is a hydrogen molecule. So hydrogen has only 1 electron. Another hydrogen has only 1 electron. So what this will do? This hydrogen will tell you, let us share electrons among themselves. So this hydrogen will complete a duplet structure, right? It is sharing 1 electron from another hydrogen. This hydrogen will also share another electron from this hydrogen. Both are sharing electrons, which completes a duplet structure. So usually when we talk about hydrogen, they complete duplet structure. So let's understand this formation of the covalent bond with respect to octet and duplet structure. And the way we form it is by electron dot structure. Formation of covalent bond by electron dot structure. Very important one, where we will learn single bond, double bond and triple bond. First we'll start with hydrogen molecule. Now what are the things what you have to write here? Only for once I will write this, children. Remaining places you have to write. Atomic number of hydrogen is 1. Then what do we write now? Usually valence electrons, last shell. Valency is the combining capacity. Valence electrons are the last shell electrons. So valence electrons are also 1. Apart from that, okay, before valence electrons, one more thing, electronic configuration. These three should be compulsorily written. Only one here. Of course, hydrogen is one. Next is valence electron. What is valence electron? That is also one, right? So, be very careful in doing this. Writing part you can do it in pencil if you want. The figure should be very neat. Now this is a hydrogen. This has one electron. See, electron dot structure means only dot and need not put. I can use also cross here. It's up to you. So this hydrogen has one electron. This hydrogen has another electron. Now you can ask me, teacher, why should I put here? I'll put the dot here instead. But if you put the dot there, difficult for this hydrogen to go there and share, right? So always put an electron so that our sharing becomes very easy. Now if I tell, if I have an extra pen or extra whatever book with me, that book is in Bangalore, please go and get, we will share. Is it feasible? Simple example, no, right? If it's very near to you, easy for sharing. Both of them can share. Now do the sharing part. The circle part also should be very neatly done. No overwriting here. So circle, this hydrogen completed its duplet structure. This hydrogen also completed its duplet structure. If I have to redraw this and understand hydrogen 1 and 1, what bond is that? Single bond. Below this we will write single bond. Covalent bond of hydrogen molecule, which is nothing but a single bond. Next, I have all written their compounds, what I am supposed to do it. So, very clear children about this. I'll just erase this. I'll only go on filling up this part. Okay? This is the way how you have to do it. Next one. So this is second one is now hydrochloric acid. Now atomic number of hydrogen, first everything we have to write. Atomic number of hydrogen is 1, electronic configuration is 1, valency is also 1. Similarly, repeat this once again. Atomic number for chlorine is how much, children? Atomic number for chlorine you have to write again. Repetition, huh? Telling you once again. Atomic number for chlorine is 17. Electronic configuration for chlorine, what do you get? 2, 8, 7. Valence electrons, what do you get here? As 7. Last shell, how many electrons are there? That actually it counts here. Okay? Is this part very clear? Write this 2 times. Once for hydrogen and once for chlorine. Now let us start sharing with this. Now, how do you come to know that whether it is a single bond or whether it is a double bond? Whenever hydrogen we have, hydrogen will have always a duplet structure. Remember that, only hydrogen. Remaining all will have a octet structure. Chlorine requires how many more electron to complete the octet structure? 1. Valency of chlorine is 1. That means what bond it will form? Single bond. Depending on the valence electrons, children, the bonds can be formed here. It is very easy to understand. Okay? Let us do that for hydrogen and chlorine. I'll first put hydrogen here. I'll put hydrogen as a dot. Now comes chlorine. Now chlorine I will represent by cross. Now only one cross I will put here. Why only one cross? Hydrogen want only one electron from chlorine to form a duplet structure. Okay, see, I'll do it now. You will understand it. How many are there? 7 are there. I have to fill 7 electrons. Last shell is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Now you can ask me, teacher, I'll do one thing. I will put 2 here and I will put 1 here. Is that okay? If it is okay, what will hydrogen do? Hydrogen should leave this and only take this. Doesn't sound good, right? So hydrogen only want 1. Give hydrogen only 1. Don't put more in the hydrogen state. Hydrogen will get confused how many to take. Only 1 it can take. So give only 1. Right? Now let us first make a duplet structure for hydrogen. Hydrogen said to chlorine, give me one electron. We will share this so that my bonding is very over. Duplet structure is over. Now it is the turn of chlorine. Chlorine said, even if you give me one or if we share electrons one, let us share this electron from your side. My octet structure will be over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See now. If I see hydrogen, hydrogen has 2 electrons. Duplet. Chlorine has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 electrons. Let us see the formation, how it comes. Only one will be shown here. Remaining are not shown. Hydrochloric, HCl, single bond. This is how you have to do the electron dot structure. It might sound very simple when I am doing it on the board. Actually, this is only understood if you sit and practice it. Okay. Let's go for the remaining one now. Chlorine, water and CH4 is nothing but methane. Okay. So it's only for chlorine again. So I will just drop this hydrogen part. So now this is only for chlorine. It's a chlorine molecule. We can't have a, what do you mean, and octet configuration for an atom. It has to link with another atom, right? So chlorine molecule, chlorine is 17, 2H7 and 7. Let us form. Now, chlorine is a single, for chlorine atom it's a single bond or double bond. How do you know? Valence electron. To make an octet, how many electrons are required? 1 electron. This is a single bond. So, chlorine to chlorine, what we have to form now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, what sharing comes here, that respect to that particular electron only. Same thing, use the same sign. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let us first pair this chlorine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this chlorine, what it will do? It will share an electron from the neighbor chlorine. This chlorine, what it will do? It will share an electron from neighbor chlorine. So chlorine to chlorine, you have a single bond, right? Let's go for the next one. Water, H2O. I'll just erase this part. Let me rub this for chlorine now. For water. First for hydrogen. It is 1, it is 1, it is 1. Then we have for oxygen. That means you have to repeat this 3 once again. Compulsorily you have to repeat. You lose your half marks for not writing this. So, atomic number for oxygen is 8. Then, electronic configuration for oxygen is 2, 6. Valence electrons are 6. Now, is this very clear? This much part is very clear. H2O. How many hydrogens we have? 2 hydrogen we have. See the formation how it comes. We have 2 hydrogen and we have 1 oxygen. Okay, let me fill. Now here what we have to form? Hydrogen wants a 1 electron. Let us see. Let us first fill it. Hydrogen is 1. This hydrogen is 1. Hydrogen wants how many electron, children? Only 1 electron for duplet structure. So I have to take oxygen also 1 here, oxygen also 1 here. For hydrogen sharing, Done? How many? 600. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let us make a duplet structure for hydrogen first. Hydrogen will tell to oxygen, give me 1, I will finish my duplet. This hydrogen also will tell give me 1, I'll finish my duplet. Now turn off oxygen. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let me do a bit far so that circle formation can be easy. Count for oxygen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Formation of water. So formation of water, how do you write? H O H single bond. So which is nothing but just right here single bond. Formation of water. Let's go for methane. And this is not already done. This is something what you have to do it in your book, children. Methane is hydrocarbon. You will study that the next tomorrow session about that. Now just CH4 let us understand. So hydrogen anyhow it is there in that. For carbon I have to write. CH4. For hydrogen already I have. How many molecules of hydrogen? 4 are there. Carbon is 1. So for carbon, what is the atomic number for carbon? 6. What is the configuration? 2, 4. Valence electrons are 4. How many H are there? 4 H are there. How many C is there? Only 1 C. So C I will write here. I'll write 1 H here, 1 H, another one and another one. Okay. Let me fill for hydrogen first. 1 for hydrogen. See, no rule, hydrogen should be dot and this should be cross, anything. Carbon has 4, fill 4 for carbon. Okay. Let us complete for hydrogen duplet structure first. Hydrogen, hydrogen, hydrogen and hydrogen. Duplet structure is over. Let us count for carbon now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So carbon will be this is for methane. How do we write it now? H cross C cross H cross H cross H. What bond it is? Single bond. That means we have still not touched double bond at all. We are all doing about single bond now. Very clear about this understanding? Let's go for the next one. Carbon dioxide. This is very important, children. In this whole chapter, sometimes I'll ask you to frame electron dot structure only for hydrocarbons as well. Next is carbon dioxide. Carbon I will keep as it is. For oxygen I will write here. This is for oxygen. Oxygen just some time back we had done. Oxygen is 8. Electronic configuration is 2, 6. Valence electrons are 6. Let us put for carbon. Oh, this is for oxygen and this is for carbon. CO2. So O is 2 times. C is 1 time. Oxygen will also have what bond? Octet bond. Carbon to oxygen and carbon to oxygen. Both are in octet bond only. Okay. So both requires octet bond. Means carbon has 4. First put 4 carbon electrons here. We'll put dot here now. Okay. Carbon we will put dot. But if I put carbon dot here, children, now see for oxygen, how many is there? For oxygen we have 6. How many more electrons? Carbon can only share electrons. Remember that. Carbon has no tendency for giving electrons. Carbon can only share. How many ever you want, you take. But oxygen, to make a octet structure, how many it requires? It requires 2. Valency is 2. That means it requires 2 electrons. That means what I have to do now here? I have to share this in such a way that I have to put 2 electrons here and put these 2 electrons here, because these 2 electrons are required by oxygen and these 2 electrons are required by oxygen. I can't put wherever I want. It has to be a double bond. Now share the oxygen electrons. How many are there? 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Instead of here you can put here also. Instead of here you can put here also. But here make sure that it has to share 2 electrons. It has to take 2 from each carbon. So count now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let me first finish oxygen. Oxygen completed its octet structure. Count for this, for oxygen again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oxygen completed its octet structure. Now it's time for carbon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For this carbon it is, right? So we will actually put a round in such a way that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This it has to take. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let us see what bonding it is doing now. Oxygen is here. 2 and 2 of carbon. 2 of carbon, 2 of oxygen. Carbon dioxide is a double bond. Understood how did we share? Octet structure, it has to form always either for this and either for this, just by sharing electrons, right? Let's go for the last one and do it here itself, children. For nitrogen, it's only one nitrogen which is present. So atomic number for nitrogen, it's a nitrogen molecule. Atomic number for nitrogen is 7. So electronic configuration, when you write, it is 2, 5. Valence electrons are 5. Last shell there are only 5 electrons. How many more it requires to make a octet structure? 3. That means this has to form a triple bond. Nitrogen to nitrogen. It has to form a triple bond. 5 are there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 4 and 5, wherever you want you can give. You can give 1, 4 here, 1, 5 here. 4 and 5. Now count. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Count for this nitrogen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? Done? So nitrogen, if I see, there are 3 and there are 3. It's a triple bond. So formation of the covalent bonds of a given compounds by electron dot structure. With this we complete the basic introduction, I can tell, of carbon and its compounds chapter. In tomorrow's session we will start with actual organic compounds. There we will understand branch chain, straight chain, ring chain. Along with that we will also learn how to form these electron dot structure as well there. Because more than the straight chain, more than these type of straight chains, they'll ask you to form organic compounds by electron dot structure itself. That means before you attend tomorrow's session, you have to be very perfect with electron dot structures. In your textbook, worked examples or these type of numericals, exercise, there are some extra things also given. Please work out where you can become more perfect on this. Children, with this we complete today's session on the part carbon and its compounds, where we understood about carbon's versatile nature, allotropes of carbon, what are covalent bonds, and how covalent bonds are formed with respect to electron dot structure in the formation of a single, double and triple bond.